doing an interview. He was asking what the theme was. There's not really a theme. We'll just have fun. And I'll let you introduce yourself. So, who are you? What do you do?
Yeah, so I'm the Fury. I found out there are lots of Furies, but there's only one The Fury. And I'm these days prolific as a writer. I'm a good networker, known among certain people. For example, I know Arno now a long time. He's one of the war room guys, top dogs, and Hustler University professors. And it's just something that's inside of me that people find something interesting in me. And that's actually what I gun for, to be, if not the most interesting man on the planet, that's one. Other than that, I just do internet marketing. It works really well in the bars.
Internet
it
marketing
does not.
Sounds gay.
It does. I actually do it as a disqualifier, actually.
Yeah.
To see if the girl will dig further. I'll just drop internet marketing, and it's like a polarizer. The disqualifier. She'll go ask further or not, and then I know.
And I mean, do you ever have that they ask further?
Last night, actually, anecdotally, I was doing interviewing actually. So in old school game, it's not per se allowed. You have to make statements or DHV stories to flaunt.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm done with that because my peers are somebody else, I'm not trying to compete with day games. No disrespect for them, but so I actually asked questions. So what do you study? She said art. I said, well, which artist then? I put the pressure on her as like a sales convo.
Come up with something decent. Yeah.
And then she was tripping over herself already a little bit. She'd never heard that. And then she said the classics. I said,
the classics?
Oh, Caravaggio. I was, listening, and she couldn't keep up. And then she smelled a little bit. Oh, this is not just some weird Asian guy, in a bar or something. And it went on and on. And
did she know Caravaggio?
No, actually she didn't. She lied that she did. Typical Dutch. No hate on Dutch. No, typical Westerners. Yeah. You have to have this bravado, which is quite masculine. Of course, we all want to see that we know something, right? And women take it over. It's very inverted femininity if a woman tries to do that, to be honest.
Inverted femininity. That's very nicely put.
A woman, so she should have slowly capitulated that she did not know shit, but she kept putting up that, what I call, it's quite masculine. At the bar, hey, my dick is bigger, or I make more money, or
I can fight better.
The classic stuff, and it's unbecoming, in my honest opinion, for a long-term spouse or a wife or just a long-term girlfriend.
Yeah.
If she has that mouth on her without the receipts, because for example, we have Ariana Huffington, she's an ICO, she's probably smarter than me or something. I don't give a fuck,
Yeah.
So, but these young girls at these bars, no bueno.
I think we could ask 1,000 people here, and I don't think more than 2 would know who Caravaggio is. Very good with light and shadows. Very talented artist.
I actually like him for his drama. So with the light and shadows, the chiaroscuro, he creates something that not a lot. For example, Rembrandt tried to get that classical edge to his paintings.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can get away with it. I was talking with my painter friend Niels about it. It's hard to get that light. Even if you try to create it with organic light, you're already busy 30 minutes, 1 hour to set that up. Back then they didn't have photo cameras, which he tried to capture first. Then he could pretend light paint, make a painting.
Exactly, yeah.
But back then it was tough business to...
Because you only have your eyes, right?
Yeah. So
why do you think most modern art is so shit?
Well, we can go into the whole leftist shit.
Let's do it.
No, but I think it has to do, if you have your finger on the pulse of the zeitgeist, they call it, they're uninspired anymore. Me myself, when you wake up, you have 1,000 notices on your phone, which create cortisol, cortical spikes that stifle your creativity. And I don't know how rich Caravaggio was, but let's say, what's his name, Turner was commissioned by King George the 5th or the 6th, correct me if I'm wrong, but they had leisure and leniency.
Yeah.
So they basically are commissioned by a king because they're good. The king spotted it and picked them up. It's like what do you call it? Like a patronage.
Yeah, exactly.
The old patrons,
Yeah.
That does not exist anymore. For example, my friend Niels, he's very talented. Were he to be his mortgage, his child, be everything be fed, then he can just wake up and think, I'm going to create masterpieces, and he just gazes in the air, and then nice pieces would come. But now he's on a pressure cooker that he has to perform as an artist or this and that, or anybody actually who has a child, you have to feed them. I get that. It's a stressful time. Or
it distracts you from your creativity.
Yes. Let's say step 1, you do not know you're a gifted artist. It could be anything actually, like a music album or writer, prolific writer, painter, any type of creator that can bring up something like a spark, like a divine spark, something authentic. They wake up and they have to pay bills.
Yeah.
They wake up, they listen and hear bullshit news that stresses the fuck out of them, and then they go beef. Let's say the latest one was like monkeypox, we had the COVID, and then you get so stressed in a fight or flight state that you're not thinking about this play mode, flow mode. Let me just paint and stuff like that. And you see it a lot with very talented artsy women. They become very masculine. I get that because they have to fend for themselves. They
to produce.
They become a single mom, maybe this, that. And, you know, it's everything. You know,
and how do you prevent that from happening to you? Because it's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Everything is just focused on hijacking your attention, getting you pissed off. How do you do that?
I think it, from a peak performance POV, it has to do with identifying first of one the levers, like high ROI levers. I know, for example, my Twitter is growing, it has engagement, and it means I have to put out at least a daily thread, if not every other day. That's a high ROI in terms that it's going to grow. I know that now, through trial and error, A/B split test, all that kind of shit. I know that's important. So, if I only have 30 minutes or an hour to spare, I would have to block out everything. You could have some nice Zen tunes or whatever, or if music makes you creative, it does not for me, because it's extra input.
Yeah, same here.
I just like to
like
go
it quiet.
In my room, and then I'll like, what is the thread? And I'm a notorious journalist, journal taking.
I brought my journal right away. For most people, some people will recognize it.
It's the coolest.
It's a Paper Blanks. It's the brand. It's great. They're beautiful. I have like 30 on a shelf. Looks like I've actually done something with my life. There's nothing in them, of course. They're just blanks. My kids will inherit them, and then they'll see, oh shit, there's nothing there. My dad was an NPC.
You definitely have to write something up for the legacy.
Yeah. No, I have 30 of them filled, front to back.
I think I was talking to you about that Swiss chick. She gifted me, I think this one. I recognize the style.
Oh, really?
They
have so many. They're beautiful. Yeah. But so you block out time, and it's like a Pareto principle thing, where you know the highest priority of the day.
Yeah.
All right. And then you block out, like, do you have your phone? Do you write on a laptop? What do you do?
I mostly write like on a desktop laptop.
Yeah.
That's better for long format, type. But what I actually want to say, what's beneficial of the phone era, you can keep a journal in your pocket or something.
Sure. Not this one.
If something
a normal size one.
If something sparks of like this convo or what I see, I'll jot it down.
Yeah.
And let's say if you're not a journal kind of guy, you have no excuse because now you have a phone. You can capture any short of idea that you can then flesh out later into short format, mid format, or long format. So it could be tweeting, email list, or blog post, or a book. Those are the gradations. And through trial and error, if you're a writer, you have to, mark your territory on that. Some people are better at short format, or some people are really good with video.
Yeah.
Then don't write anything. Just think about just a new video that you're gonna get out on like Rumble or like YouTube, wherever you think you're gonna attract people. And for example, I know this guy from Romania. His game is really good with IG. He's not that good of a Twitter. His writing is okay.
Yeah.
He really shines when he's out popping bottles or something, and maybe he gets money from that, girls, whatever. And it's about first self-awareness, which 99% of people don't have.
Yeah.
They're so unaware because they're not thinking, understanding, they're not sifting, they're not synthesizing, they're not analyzing, they're doing nothing.
Yeah.
And then secondly, then it's putting out the work.
You think that's something that you can learn?
Well, don't have to ask the question. Do you have an internal dialogue?
That was I found the article.
Yeah, I saw it. I skimmed through it.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, right?
It's strange.
Well, to give you some background, we last time we met, Fury said that there are apparently people that don't have an inner voice. Like there's things going on in your mind that's always talking. Some people don't have it, and I couldn't believe it. And then I found the article, and it's actually true. And there were people on Twitter underneath the article. They were saying, well, I don't have the voice. I just see pictures or.
Actually,
it's so weird.
It depends. With all questions in life, I always say it depends.
Yeah.
If you want to be a sheep for life, then you don't have to find out how you think, in my honest opinion. Because you'll just be given orders, stay within the fence, and
Like an NPC.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like a non-playable character, you'll be just spawned somewhere. You're birthed by your mother, you know, bless her, and then you're just there.
Yeah.
And
We did talk about this. I'm not sure if they were actually birthed. Maybe they just spawned from
Yeah.
the simulation.
Yeah.
And then they disappear when we are gone.
Yes.
Like most of these people are real, probably.
No, I saw a couple guys. They rendered out already.
Exactly.
If they
Like in
annoy,
Skyrim.
if they annoy the fuck out of you, just
Yeah.
wait 5 seconds. Just close your eyes, look into the distance, poof, you're
And they're gone.
And were they even real? Who can
Yeah.
refute that?
Yeah. Well, you probably can't murder them. That'll be, they won't disappear if you kill them, probably.
No,
Yeah.
they just go back into the pixels, the pixelation.
And then,
So, yeah.
but how do you like?
Yeah.
Because you didn't start out as a writer. What's your background?
Yeah.
What school did you go to?
I would say in terms of like, people have passions, right?
Yeah.
Maybe to give a little bit like an answer to people who want the actionable advice,
Yeah.
is that I was, I almost want to say a closet writer. No, but like
That's a good closet to be in, though.
Yeah, I kept
don't
it-
want to have you in the other closet.
most people don't know. I was in a lot of writing groups. I have these. I was part of forums where you can put out long pieces. I just got, how do you call it? Like critiqued apart, completely annihilated by random add-ons. But the writing was not that good compared to how it is now.
Yeah.
And it was trial and error and just trying, and that's why I'm a notorious journaler. Or I have long stories like fiction,
Yeah.
that if I read it now, I don't like it, so I won't share it with anybody.
Yeah.
Similar to how Ed Sheeran has trained himself to become a good singer-songwriter. There's a YouTube video. Ed Sheeran is notorious for that. He says he could not sing, and there's a YouTube video, if you control search on YouTube, where he sings completely out of
Tune.
He's
Yeah.
just, you would think, is this Ed Sheeran? Similar to that. If you found my writings 10 years ago, you would not know this. I have this certain syntax, speed, cadence, propulsion, topics, anything that you just see, you'll know it's my writing. And it went into a lot of like hours, but I just went the academic route. I'm actually like an engineer. So,
All right.
guys, trust me, I'm an engineer.
Yeah. Science is settled. Okay. That's clear.
So like most guys, maybe they need that balance. So I went the academia route, and I was beefing with these NPCs at my desk job the whole time. We were like in these cubicles in a glass door chamber thingy, and I was notorious for just pointing at them and saying your diploma is shit. And then I got into
That's true.
into heavy beefs with like verbal beefs, not fisticuffs.
No.
But they make their diploma and their academic route so much tied to their identity.
It is them in a way, right?
Yes, they think diploma equals them.
Yes.
And I was never that guy, and that's why I'm so unboxable, prolific, whatever you want to call it. I'm just trying to be a human being. I want to be friends with Arno. I want to be a cigar smoker. I want to be a whiskey drinker. Sometimes I have a beer. I want to be a lover. I want to maybe be like a husband, whatever. I want to be everything and anything as a human being, and that is more. If you have the slave master race, that's master race thinking.
Yeah.
Because the slaves are told, hey, you are a slave.
This is you.
This is you. You are X. Go to school. You are an engineer now. I was always, if somebody puts a rule on top of me, I was like, I have this cringy vibe. You can call it soul, gut, whatever. I'm like, no. I was giving you an anecdote, about like a guy in the club and this and that. Somebody says, no, you're not allowed here. I'm like, but who made that rule? What is that?
Yeah.
Am I going to jail for that? No. Society came up with rules. The elite this and that. You gonna pause the video?
No, man. I'll leave it in. It's more than
Kan ik
action.
je helpen?
Kan ik nog een whisky
Ja,
bestellen?
stukken sheet about different way.
Ja. Jerry? Sweet.
2 stuks?
Ja.
Kunnen we dan.
Thanks,
Good,
man.
sir. So it's about the elitist mindset.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I came from money. Not at all. The exact opposite. But some people are actually born with it. I have a friend. He comes from the same province as you in the south, and he has that about him. He's just middle class or something. Sometimes I ask him, "Are you rich?" He says, "I'm not rich," this and that. But his mindset, the ideas that he comes up with an idea. I said, "Hey, this was a tweet months ago or something." He said, "No, I was just thinking, and it came to me." And some people have more the elitist way of thinking, that they're more free.
Yeah.
And
You're not bound.
Yes,
by,
and I believe as a human being, if your only master would be God. If you're a theist, if you're monotheistic,
Yeah. Well,
You're
probably it doesn't really matter what you think. It's probably just God. So yeah, and if he doesn't exist, well, okay. But
Yeah,
let's
that-
assume.
yeah, that's the Pascalian wager. Like
Oh
people,
yeah.
people should look that up.
I like that. Yeah.
It's if he doesn't exist, well, then you don't get the spoils of the kingdom of heaven, praying. But if he does exist, well, maybe you know.
But if you pick the wrong God, how about that?
Yeah, I don't think the
It's sent
Pascal.
to
He was a Catholic, I think.
Oh, okay.
So, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
My Hindu friend always said that one. These Christians, they all go to hell.
But the Hindus have like 612 gods or something.
But he prayed to the upper god Shiv.
Oh, okay.
The
Not
upper
the
like,
elephant dude.
that's
I don't
Ganesh.
know.
That's Ganesh.
Okay. Yeah, I'll believe you.
So it's about that, to tie it back. That it's about it being a free spirit, and to I
So,
don't
but
like
you
to
were
give
always
that.
that way.
Yeah, I don't like to give that introduction. Hey, my name is Fury. I'm a real free spirit. People put that label again on me. It's almost it's very ironic. I'm a free spirit, but if somebody labels you, I'm like, you cringe.
I don't like the label.
I don't like to label you.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if I was always like that. I was just like a homebody. Not I'm a late bloomer with anything, dating, drinking, traveling, anything.
Yeah.
But I was just I think away from smartphones a long time in my formative years. So you were talking.
Same here.
What is the issue?
Yeah.
The issue is that a kid is born, here's smartphone.
Yeah.
I kid you not. Or tapped in
Yeah.
into a feed of nonsense that is not the cosmos.
Oh bullshit.
All bullshit. And I was just like a lot of I was watching television, but just thinking and just trying to be free and
These days, do you watch a lot of social media? Do you scroll a lot? Do you just put out, or do you consume? What do you do?
I would say following the 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
I'm a creator now. I made that conscious decision 3 to 5 years ago. So 80% I create more than I consume. But if I consume, it's just not my friends. I filter them. If I meet a new, like in Smash Brothers, you have like a new challenger appears. Like,
Yeah.
if I see somebody who has the sauce,
Yeah.
I'll like kind of subliminally vet them. I'll scroll through this shit. I'll be like, maybe he's interesting. So I'll give him a follow or send a couple DMs
Yeah.
to disqualify or qualify them, and then I'll consume this shit. For example, I know now at the moment I have a lot of young guns.
Yeah.
They're out there in Geneva or Switzerland, and it seems they have good money. They have rented cars or they own the cars, whatever.
Yeah.
They have beautiful women, and I'm thinking I'm consuming this as inspiration or
Yeah.
peer-to-peer, like a little bit rivalry, like healthy rivalry, But other than that, I don't consume like other people's shit. If I, for example, am in the engagement game with some statue faces or some shit, I don't read any of their shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
I can
That's
smell
important.
if it's a platitude monkey.
Yeah.
I'm not reading any of this shit. So there are 3 levels, and the more niche and quite rare friends that I have, like I think they're sometimes fellow writers. One friend of mine, his name is like Vanya Kairos, Thomas J. Bevan, and Winston. They're on these platforms as well. I almost never consume them because they're so iconic.
Yeah.
I don't want that shit actually in my head. That's a huge respect to them. That it's also an extra thing not to consume actually.
Yeah.
They're so good. I know they got it. They'll find an audience or anything, and I'll support them, promote them, whatever. But I'm not consuming them. They're almost like a Fitzgerald of this time, like a contemporary. That's.
And do you think that
know?
that would seep into your work if you would do that?
Yeah, I have a good point. Like I'm seeing this girl, and my syntax and the way I text anything and everything is so prolific. She copied me to the T.
Yeah.
And she does that to mirror me, kind of like that we're bonding. I respect that, but I have that with certain guys. If I am scrolling them, let's say a couple days, and like a full 5 days, a whole week, I'll start to talk like them, and mostly it will be in word selection. So, for example, now the meme Hua or Top G,
Yeah.
I almost refuse to speak Top G, not out of disrespect for Andrew, but more so I don't want to enter that space that everybody is saying it. This is that thing
what you mean.
to be
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah.
It's more so, oh wow, Top G is unique.
Yeah.
I'll leave it to that.
Yeah.
It's good. It's like I always say if you go to a famous Museum del Prado, the Rijksmuseum in Netherlands,
Yeah.
all the masters have their own space. Each room is meant for them. You enter, you're gonna see the Night Watch of Rembrandt.
Yeah.
He is the master there. But you go to another room, maybe you have a special Caravaggio was lented from this and that.
Van Gogh. Yeah.
Van Gogh,
Yeah.
he has an own museum.
Yeah.
That's his space. But he's not really beefing with Rembrandt. They're both dead, but they're quite prolific, prominent. They have their own unique sauce that came from somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel any young man on this hero's journey should be about. And it begins with small stuff, even copying words. I see it like one guy it's a slippery slope, you know? 1 second you're copying one word, then you're copying his phrases, then you're copying his philosophies.
Yeah.
Goes fast.
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope and you have to be careful. Some guys have very interesting stuff, don't get me wrong, but you have to discern one step a little bit further. Are you gonna make that commitment, you know? Are you gonna dress like him? Are you gonna walk like him? It goes far, you know?
Yeah, for me, the way it worked, when I was starting out with my business, I was like, what is it, 19, 20 or something. And
You're a dino, man.
Yeah, I know.
I wasn't even
Dinosaurs
born.
were there.
I wasn't even born then.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm old, I know.
Still trying.
Yeah. But I sort of brainwashed myself. I consumed like Jim Rohn.
Good.
Zig
I like him.
Ziglar,
Yeah.
Earl Nightingale, like all dudes. And even to this day, I'm happy that I did it. But I repeat phrases, you know, word by word. They're just part of your subconscious. And it was a good thing to brainwash myself with. It happens anyway, right?
It happens
it's
anyway.
Inevitable.
It's, you know, and
But you choose.
you choose.
Yeah.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna happen anyway, actually. For example, some guys, I don't know which narrative they would be from, but all girls are gonna be brainwashed by a guy.
True.
Then I think to myself, well, if this girl likes me so much and I care for her and I brainwash her with this stuff, you know, I say if
You're actually doing her a favor.
yeah. So she was talking about I want to be part of the new Hua clan, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, well,
Obviously.
you know, read the Hagakure Book of Samurai.
Yeah.
It's on the reading list, you know. She was like, I ordered it right now, you know, and she's not gonna order some dumb, what is that thing, 50 Shades of Grey or something. I know her by now. She's not gonna do that. So
Yeah.
if she's gonna be brainwashed, if she wants to read something at night, be a nice girl at home, not, you know,
Yeah.
toddling around in some disco, you know. Somebody else.
So you strive. Well, actually, the way that we got in touch was because I read your stuff, and it was clear you weren't an NPC.
Thanks.
So
That's a huge compliment.
yeah,
I try my
you're
best.
one of the few. And then Twitter, because Twitter, every social media space is like dominated by NPCs.
Yes, it is.
And I saw a great thread. Don't remember who it was, but it was, like one of those threads came out like you need to drink enough water, and you need to go to bed at the right time, blah blah. And someone did a parody thread on that.
I know the guy, Legacy Few.
Yeah, exactly.
I know him.
Yeah,
I
that was
talked to him
awesome.
something.
I enjoyed that very much.
He's a smart man because
Yeah.
he's so not to dox him or anything, he's well read,
Yeah.
well traveled, extensive dating life, a
Yeah.
prolific man. He makes good money, like, you know, successful man.
Exactly.
He can speak from authority coupled with experience.
Yeah.
And even as
Super
a,
important.
even as a joke, he's like, don't take cold showers, take hot showers for this and this reason.
Yeah.
And you can see from his reasoning and the way he lays it out that he knows his shit. I was laughing.
Yeah,
It was
that was
tongue
a
in
great
cheek.
thread.
It was
Yeah.
amazing
He
thread.
got blocked by the original thread creator.
I know who. I also
That's
know who
funny.
the original track creator was actually.
Super. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. Can I also get a glass of ice?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Cheers, man.
Hua.
Great trip.
Yeah. So, if let's say you were, you were transported, or no, not that. You would have a chance to talk to yourself 10
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah.
What would you like? What kind of things would you say? Would you do things differently?
Yeah. Number one is go to the gym.
Yeah.
Because not only from an aesthetic point of view, that you're gonna pull more chicks, get more respect from men as your peers, but it actually gives me more energy. So, for example, I was out late last night. I forgot the time, it was 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. But I woke up, I knew I had a meet with Arno, but I went straight to lifting because in life there are two levers, or you can compartmentalize tasks to things that take energy and give energy. And lifting for me, it's the ultimate hangover clearer. So I'll do like a clean or something. The first rep that I pull, I'll know like it's like
Yeah.
it's clean, like almost if it's
Clears up.
it
right?
clears
Your
up.
head.
That was the word
Yeah,
of, like
yeah.
if there's so much mud, straight like a blast of water. Then I'll see if I can pull for more reps. Well, of course, knowing me, I went for more reps,
Yeah.
and then I really start to feel it. And then I get energy, and then you can create content or go out there, try to strike deals, maybe pick up a nice chick or like have a nice banter.
Yeah.
But if you're unenergized, which I was like 10 years ago, like one of those like more reserved introvert kind of guys.
Yeah.
It's like you think you're depressed, but you're partially, not to say depression not real, partially chemically imbalanced, to put it like that.
Yeah.
Either diet is shit or not sleeping what you need, quality and quantitatively, and then your exercise. You know, you cannot get
if
around
your
that.
mind is clouded all the
Yeah.
time, I would get depressed as well. I mean, that would
Exactly.
be shit.
Exactly. And so that's one. So one, go to gym, lift more.
And by the way, just to latch on to that, the last thing you want to do when you're hungover, okay, I woke up this morning, I had fun yesterday as well. I woke up, not feeling amazing. Still worked out.
Okay.
But how many times, with how many things is that the case? Where the last thing you actually want to do is exactly the thing that you need to do.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Actually, it's a main heuristic that drives me today
It's a beautiful word, heuristic. You should
on
look it
a
up.
on a day-to-day basis to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So if I need something to pull the trigger, that notion that you just sketched, Arno, actually drives me. So I'll be thinking, wait, 10 years ago, I would be a little bit woozy after a night out.
Yeah.
But I have to prove to myself that it was worth that I lived more 10 years on this earth, just as to give self-respect to myself, a form of dignity, to come back to nobility and elitism. It's mostly about self-respect and self-love, that I'll think, no, I'm now a better man, even if, let's say, your bank account is not optimal or your dating, you can always perfect,
You don't
perfect.
have to be perfect, yeah, exactly, but you can strive for it.
Yeah, it's a pursuit to perfection, and I just have to prove to myself, no, I'm different now. I can booze and still lift. I'm different now,
Yeah.
and those things drive me.
That's not you anymore.
Yeah, and it's almost this. I call it two sides of the same coin. Like for example, when I was younger, I didn't travel, so if I have the opportunity to meet somebody like this, I do it now. For example, I think 1 year ago, I just broke up with a girl.
Yeah.
I think exactly 1 year ago, like in the summer, was a cool guy from Twitter. He said, "Yo, I'm in Amsterdam. Let's link up." It never happened because it was a little bit, a little bit
Yeah.
mopey.
Yeah.
But now, even if I just lost a girl, I'll think, okay, that was not nice. I get that, but then I'll just show up to that like meet with the Twitter mutual because
Yeah.
it's never gonna happen. Well, I missed him. Yeah, I missed out on him. I'm still in contact with him, but I think about those little setbacks and I try to let that drive me. So, if my intuition back then was wrong to be basically a loser and a bitch and a pussy, I try not to be a loser and not to be. It's quite a simple heuristic. Like, shit, I'm not making enough money. Did I start a business when I was 20? Well, I did not. Now I have to do this, and.
Explain heuristic to the people because I can guarantee
Yeah.
almost no one knows what it is. Do you
It's
have a lighter, by the way?
Yeah.
You went out.
It's like if you have an iPhone, you have the iOS.
Yeah.
It's an operating system,
Yeah.
and we as humans are machines in a way because of our mental biases, the way we were programmed as kids, how we decision make. You should really check out Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel
Yeah,
Kahneman.
that was a good book.
And
Yeah.
think and read more about behavioral economics.
Yeah.
That who is making these decisions in my head, and sometimes I cannot, for the life of me. Thank you.
Alsjeblieft.
Sometimes for the life of me, I cannot make a proper decision, but you need fast protocols.
Exactly.
It's already decided upon, actually. So if you have nothing to do, you should write these protocols, codes of conduct for yourself,
Yeah.
and you'll do it smoothly after the fact. So you
Yeah,
have to think.
100%
Yeah,
agree.
that's what I
Yeah.
meant a little bit with heuristic. A person would call it more like gut or intuition, but what if it's wrong, right?
Yeah.
You have to root that shit out and put in new protocols, like a software system. I'm not a computer engineer or software engineer, but you have to rewrite the code a little bit. You have to dig deep. Delete the old code like in Python or JavaScript or something.
Yeah.
Delete that bullshit out, all those glitches.
Yeah.
Get the fucking glitches out. Program some new shit in. Like a heuristic, actually, like a protocol is booze, wake up, instantly do X amount of things. For example, what did I do? It's on autopilot. I wake up, pop some pills, like all the vitamin stack, ta 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 ta.
The good kind of pills.
And I have these triple threat: hydrate, breathe, stretch.
Yeah.
Within 1 minute, I am tip-top shape. I'll check my phone. What did Arno say? While drinking my coffee. It looks super weird, like almost like a I pretend to be like a special forces soldier or something.
Yes.
I'll be like,
this is my
I'm like,
modus operandi.
that is now your modus operandi. That's what I meant. Like, a person would call it a habit, but that's too broad sometimes for some people. But it's like when you're gambling, right? You think red or black.
Yeah.
That's how fast
Exactly.
it is.
There's
So
no thinking involved, really.
yeah, it's more the Kahneman would call it system one thinking.
Yeah.
You know, the fast thinking.
It's funny. I made a video a while back about some. It's weird. Like I had this weird sleeping schedule for a while,
I got you.
and
Mine is non-existent. So.
yeah.
That's a heuristic of mine, actually.
Yeah.
I've come to the conclusion that if I want to broker deals middle of the night at 4 a.m., I should be able to do that. You know,
Yeah.
I'd be like, I was talking to this Russian chick. It was 4 a.m. So, oh, now she's up apparently. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm asleep, she's not up. That's
Yeah.
I like to take advantage. Yeah, but go on. Yeah.
And what I used to do, I would set the alarm and for 10 minutes, and then I go to like, this is like 7 p.m. right, and I knew I had to get up at 6 a.m. the next morning, and I always had this issue where the alarm goes and you just snooze it
I get it.
because you're not there. So
I feel you.
and then at 7 p.m. I would set the alarm for 10 minutes. I would go to bed. I would do the whole thing, and then the alarm would go off, and then I'd take it, and I do very much the same thing as usual. Walk downstairs, take a glass of water, and I do that 3 times in a row. So from 7 to 7:30.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then the next morning you just do it because it's sort of grooved in. It's weird. Like
And-
we're because when you wake up, you're like the crocodile mind, and that's basically it. Like you're not really there. So you have to make the groove.
Yeah. A good book on habits is what's the book's name? Mini Habits.
Many habits?
People should read that.
I don't know.
That is for what is it? The famous Atomic Habits
Oh yeah.
by James Clear
Yeah.
is good for breaking habits, but Mini Habits by I forgot the author is good for forming habits. And it says these things. For example, let's say you're notorious for not going to the gym. You should put an alarm or with a caption.
Yeah.
It says just pick up your gym bag or something.
Yeah.
It starts there, and then you just pick
trigger.
up the trigger,
Yeah.
and then it's this behavioral loop. Trigger, behavior, and then the reward or something. It's this
Yeah.
loop. I'm not really reading and thinking about it. I'm just doing it. These things automatic because I read all these. For example, James Clear. I don't need to read that book because I've seen so many stuff about it.
Exactly.
But it's just picking up your gym bag, then go to the gym, and if you're still too afraid, just open the door or whatever, and then you can go back to your car or whatever, and just do that the next day. Trust me. If you take
You're
the
fooling yourself, basically.
you are fooling yourself
Yeah.
slowly by
Into
slowly.
doing the right thing.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones is actually a trick. I don't know who taught me this, but it's called proximity productivity. I would say like half a decade ago was procrastinating on my guitar play. I put my guitar right next to my bed. If I'm hungover, I wake up, oh, my guitar's there. I just play some dumb song. And the other day, my mom actually said I was getting better. I said, well, mom, it's like a half decade. It would be no, it would be embarrassing for yourself if
Yeah.
you're doing this habit. It's right. It's right there.
there.
If
Yeah.
and it just goes to show it's not important for you, actually. Let's say, for example, that guy. No knock on the guy if he's listening. This dating app thing is impossible.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we were talking about this off
Let's
screen.
let's say if he put in the reps, he tried all the apps. I tried all the dating apps, and
Yeah.
I found what works and not works because I actually did it, and there was no excuse. Every day I was like swipe, talk, or on IG. IG get some nice girls,
Yeah.
and it's just this habit. And then I found out what worked or didn't work. And for example, with the guitar, it's because it's right there. It's like right in your face, and
Yeah.
similar with tying it back like to the loop of writing. My desktop is always open.
Yeah.
So if I'm like, oh, I have to meet Arno, like, 30 minutes. I could have cranked out, or the weights are right there, this and that,
Exactly. You make it easy for yourself to do the right thing. So that's one. What else would you tell young Fury about besides get to the gym? Don't be a pussy.
So gym. Oh yeah, film more, because everything that has become me. I was talking with a friend down south
Yeah.
about it, that I liken my losses now just like being on the roulette wheel or something. If you're there on the casino floor, if you're there to play, if you're, I like these metaphors like poker. Let's use poker. If you're playing a hand, the hand had been dealt to you by God.
Yes.
I like this metaphor.
Yeah.
You get a bad beat, they call it, and then you just
7-2.
yeah, and but you play. For example, you play it anyways. You'll ride it out, and you get a bad beat. Then you just, it's a poker term. You say nice hand, or the other guy when he beats you, he says that's poker,
Yeah.
or it actually means that's life.
Or just scream skill game.
I've never heard that one. Skill game. Yeah. No, but I like to have these aphorisms or mantras or affirmations.
Yeah.
Like that's life. Or when I take a bad beat, I know a next hand is gonna be dealt. If not the next second,
Yeah.
that inspires me actually. That I know, oh shit, I just broke up with this chick. Well, this chick looks quite attractive. She's my type. It was 1 second ago.
Yeah.
And it's not to be. You almost become this psychopathic gambler of life to put up moonshots, and I really like brute the force of that that's the way he lives. It's a hard life to live, but I would have told a younger Fury to fill more. Let's say if he would fill in a whole year maybe 5 times. Yo, I did that in 1 day.
Yeah.
I shot my shot with so many chicks in once, talk with this. She's rejected me. I forgot about it already.
Yeah.
And one guy like, did she reject? Well, technically she rejected me, but I forgot about it.
Yeah.
It's not a loss anymore. But if you were to take make a spreadsheet on your dating, whatever, it is an L. You cannot lie to yourself. But I would have said something like that to a younger Fury in terms of the big classical pillars, relations, wealth creation. My passions and hobbies and health. Lifting.
Yeah.
All it's more like a philosophy. I would have told him like, bro, you're being reserved.
Yeah.
And if you see me playing games such as poker, or
You're almost being stingy, right?
Yeah, stingy.
You're holding back.
I love that word, stingy.
Yeah.
And I think my friend from down south, he even saw it in my demeanor. It had changed, so I was picking up tabs and stuff like that. And he heard earlier maybe I was not doing financially tip top or something,
Yeah.
but it bled over to him that he was going out with his friends and he was picking up the tabs, and they were like, is this a thing? And he said, oh Fury, I got that from you. I said, well, if you go to the club with the Tates and in one night they spend more than you've done your whole life, oh well, you're in for what is that famous Andrew parable?
Yeah.
Stand where the rain falls or the water is and you'll get wet, in this abundance mindset.
Yeah.
And I think I didn't see enough of those inspirational stuff, tying it back to that consumption. So when I'm feeling a little bit maybe blue or down the spell, I'll just open my IG, the killers. I'll just look, oh, he's in Marbella again. Oh, that's a nice chick,
Exactly.
And it can get you down if you consume it too much, but for me it's more like a pick me up, like, oh, okay, that's
It's
the
an
game.
inspiration, right?
That's
It's not envy or jealousy.
Yeah, and that's the game. That's
Yeah.
you have to, life is a game, and the final stake is your life. When you die, when you punch out,
Yeah.
then you're dead. And that's a driving force, like a motivator for me, life and death. And that's why I wanted to say, when you see me play like bullet chess or like well, I wouldn't know now with real money, but if you see me play poker, it's an absolute insane madman.
Yeah.
Because of this philosophy, actually. I was like, and they were like, holy shit, how does he do that? Because I did this whole year, actually, like an experiment with my life, just to put everything up there, up the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Well, and that's how I got to meet the Tates, actually,
Yeah.
It's funny, because in a science POV, you create an experiment, you run the experiment with a hypothesis behind it, then you get data, and then it's an iterative feedback loop. This is called the science method,
Yeah.
or something like the
Scientific method.
The
Yeah.
scientific
Correct. Yeah.
You have to use your body as an experiment, and I would have said to young Fury something like that, because he was quite academic, quite introverted. Bro,
But
your
young
life is the
young
experiment.
Fury would probably have said something like, "But that's risky," or "What if it fails? What if I fuck up?"
Yeah, and then I will say to him, bro, I'll then tell him all the scars, then
Yeah.
he'll know. I'll tell him all the.
Because you will fail.
Yeah, no, but then I'll
Yeah.
relay to him, well, this is gonna happen then. And that drives me still to this day. I have physical scars of that actually. And when I'm a little bit thinking about losing and loss and gain, I just look at my physical scars, and that brings me to my psychological scars. And then I'll go into like, if you ever watch Peaky Blinders, Tommy Shelby, he has this really good acting with the eyes. He's so battered and bruised, and if you watch the final season, he gets completely obliterated every single episode, and he's just gazing into the abyss, kind of.
Yeah.
And that's, I would say, not a hobby of mine, but I'm quite repetitive with that. So I'll muse upon that, and I'm think, okay, it's time to show up again,
But how do you show up again? Like, shit goes wrong.
Yeah, I think it's actually down to, you know, how they would call like a routine or these habits that we talked about. Like pick me up, like a nice shower down my back, like hot water,
Yeah.
get refreshed with it, cool. I get so much gratitude. I don't do the stupid gratitude affirmations anymore. Like just write 10, you know, I love my mom. This
Yeah.
it doesn't work for me. So when
Yeah.
I'm like hungover, like one of the hungover symptoms is dehydration. When I pick up a glass, I drink it. I think that's step one.
Yeah.
Put it down. Pour the tea, make the tea. That's step two. And these small little energy-giving things are necessary, are a necessity for battle.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I would think, nah, that's cope. I don't need that. Blah 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 bullshit. A walk outside is a necessity for me. You know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just to show up to this. I did not fully know what to expect, what came with this, behind this, whatever. But I know it's a nodal interaction. It's a spike. It's a
Yeah.
it's perhaps a cataclysmic event that will boom and reverberate
Yeah,
further.
Yeah. I read something in a book from Trump. I don't know which book it was, but he had this period, I think in the 90s, where well, everything went to shit for him. Like he was a billionaire, and then the real estate market crashed, and he walks outside his office and he looks at the homeless dude sitting there, and he thinks to himself, like, that dude is 9 billion richer than I am, because he was at minus 9 billion and that guy was at zero. But he
I read that one.
and he does his schedule, and then at the end of the night there's like a gala or a party somewhere, and he says, I'll go eat, because I know that if I stay at home, nothing good will happen. But if I go there, something good might happen. I don't know. But if I sit here being miserable about, you know, how shit things are, well, I'm pretty sure nothing good is going to happen.
Yeah.
Never does.
I feel you, Arno.
Yeah.
Like it reminds me to tie it back again once more with the poker metaphor.
Yeah.
No new hand is not gonna be dealt to you if you don't show up to the table.
True.
If you prolific scene in Casino Royale, you know, he got poisoned. He goes to his car.
Yeah.
He comes back. The chief says, "Oh, you're a little bit sweaty. How are you feeling?" He said, "That last hand almost killed me." You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I really resonate with that when I put my body out there in this. I'm a man of science. Like we have the Cartesian 3D coordinate system.
Yeah.
This is what I call the Cartesian 4D system. You're what they would call a body or a vector or something like that. You have to put yourself on the map on this 3D realm
Yeah.
to show your face, get the next hand dealt you, and see if you're luckier, or try to play it as hard as possible. Again, there's that, and similar with chess games. Like if you just lost a chess game, go to the next one, and you will see new pieces will show. Keep going, new connections, new battles, and new sacrifices. It's always like that, you know?
Yeah.
And people should play more of these metaphysical games. Could be chess, Japanese chess, shogi is even more complex than chess. Go, or play poker, or even Tetris has metaphysical properties.
Yeah, you get the new blocks, right?
The new
Yeah,
blocks,
Yeah.
even if you were game over,
Yeah.
press reset, new blocks come from the sky,
Exactly.
right there.
It's beautiful. And then you said that you were a pretty good networker.
Well, I've gotten better at it, you know? I'm not in my prime shape, but I feel, yeah.
Well, one of the questions that I get a lot from young guys is like, hey, I'm young, my direct surroundings are shit, all my friends are retards, and or NPCs. How do I get out there? How do I meet people that actually are worth a damn?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, one big thing we were talking about, I don't know, like off screen, but social media. It is,
You build up your socials.
yeah, there's no other way around it now anymore, you know, because of Meta, you know, Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that. But we now have Rumble, GETTR, we have so much.
Yeah.
YouTube. There's almost no excuse actually. For, let's say, you're a painter, you can go to IG. I
100%.
I see a lot of powerful artists who have 700k IGs, just paintings. They put in the work. I saw one guy forwarded it to me. I was like, whoa, this guy's a good
Nice.
artist. I can see that would not be possible with Van Gogh.
Yeah.
Let the record show. Van Gogh died thinking he was a loser.
Yeah, he failed.
He failed
Yeah.
in his head.
Yeah.
He was so depressed. He was just smashing prostitutes here and there, cutting his ear off, going loco, doing what knows kind of absence, drugs, and this and that.
Don't cut your ear off, guys.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
This is the
We
biggest.
both have both ears. See?
Yeah.
See? Yeah. So don't
This
do
is
that.
the biggest lesson. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that's going to be the name of the stream. Yeah. That's
But
great.
yeah, no. But as a young kid, you have your phone on you, right? You know.
Yeah.
You have your phone on you. You can make something happen. You see a guy who's notorious street scrap. He can go to an MMA gym, make footage,
Yeah.
and people will see he's talented. Or let's say you're a baseball pitcher or something, just throw some baseball pitches. You know,
And let's say you can't, like, you're not talented at anything. What
it's
do you do?
possible.
Yeah. What do you do then?
Well, this is tying it back to the self-discovery part. You know, just sitting with yourself, thinking, analyzing. It's almost if you're a human being and not an NPC, God gave you some gifts. There's an ancient.
I agree 100%.
There's an ancient
You're
Greek.
good at something.
You're good at something. There's
Well,
an
you have the potential, at least, to be
Yeah.
good at something. Yeah.
There's an ancient Greek parable. Zeus, the upper god, he had at his temple 2 jars. The jar was the left jar for sinister, means evil, was full of your curses or your bad stuff. He dealt people hands
Yeah.
to bring the Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly.
He dealt them bad hands, maybe more than from the right jar with gifts. He dealt people some gifts.
Yeah.
And if you believe in God or cosmos order, you were dealt some kind of gift, you know? What is notorious in the NBA, this is not racism, but they're all Afro-American
They're
guys.
black, correct.
They're
Yeah,
black.
I noticed.
But they're athletes. So if
Exactly.
you're a young, dark man, you're born to be an athlete.
Yeah.
It was given to you because of the slave race history thing, and you guys are just strong. I see a guy, like, he's in Florida, one of
Yeah.
my Twitter mutuals. Oh, I look to him for inspiration. Whoa, this guy got the GETTR, or he's working on this. What is he working on? 225 pounds standing overhead press.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I look at that. I was like,
Yeah.
and he's younger than me. And
Yeah.
then your blood starts to boil.
Yeah.
But point of it, let's say this kid was in. I think he made a switch as an athlete when he was 17 or 18. I see it from his pics. He
Yeah.
didn't delete them. I went back.
Yeah.
And maybe he thought to himself, well, I have IG. And he just makes these nice reels now. And he is not only jacked, but, like, you know, you can see the cut, and
Exactly,
he
yeah.
has a certain
Yeah.
swagger now. And think, this guy, he's strong.
Yeah.
And this is just one to play the race gene race card. What is notorious for Asian guys? They're good with math. Well, there was no surprise why I went to engineering.
Yeah, exactly.
Western Caucasian guys are usually tall, have a nice banter, assertive. They are born salesmen. They can smoosh up women who will provide for them perhaps for 6 months. You know,
Yeah.
these are the cards that have been dealt to you. You know, on and on and on. And it takes a little bit, like, again, to quote Blaise Pascal, I think all man's problems start when you're unable to sit in a room all by yourself.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I never heard that before. That was great.
So the inverse of that, I think all your solutions then will start if you're able to sit in a quiet room.
On the inside.
Just sit there, no music, nothing. Just sit there for a bit, 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then,
Stop fucking scrolling.
yeah.
Fucking degenerate.
Haram.
Yeah, because it's made to, hijack your attention and turn you into a slave and an NPC.
It's meant,
Yeah.
it's a shackle, to put it like that.
But
To play with.
you have things that you're actually talented at, or that you could be good at. It's, some Asian dude will always be better. That's just the thing. But whatever you're good at, an Asian dude is better at it, Paul. Somewhere.
I always say, if somebody wants something coded done, go to an Asian.
Yeah, exactly.
Or an Indian.
Yeah.
They're good at it, man.
Indians are really good salesmen as well. Like there's no no inhibition.
Yeah, because they have no shape.
It's the mean with the sand boobs, right?
Yeah.
Sand boobs are vagina.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's go to the gym, put yourself out there more.
Yeah. Film more, you know?
What else?
Film more, like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then to tie it back, like, specifically, like, heartbreak is powerful. This is my favorite thing. It's like a prop.
You have it up?
This,
It's an axe.
yeah, but it has nothing to do with anything Scandinavian. It's just a travel story
Yeah.
and a certain girl, like a blue pill moment. Every time I try to step maybe close to simping, I look at this, right out of it.
Out of the simp mind.
So the younger Fury did not experience that, but for the younger guy, just get your heart broken. And then, trust me, every time you look at something like a totem,
Yeah.
it's quite totemic. You go into a blaze of fury. Well, trust me, you will hit PRs. You know.
That's beautiful. A totem. Yeah. So you wear the axe.
Yeah. To remind me, because I went deep. You know,
Yeah.
it's uncanny almost even talk about it, like the details. It's disgusting. Like especially if somebody sees me now, they would not believe that and this and that. But it's part of me.
Yeah.
And that darkness, I keep it inside me somewhere. You know. And that's that Thomas Shelby thing a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he went to France, he had this girl, this and that.
Yeah.
Or this, in season 3, spoiler alert, his wife died, you know? This and, yeah.
Never saw it, but now you spoiled it.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. I actually, it's funny. I wear the ring. People ask me all the time, like, "Are you married?" The ring is actually for. I got it when a teammate of mine got hit by lightning and died. He was 15. He was on a bicycle out in the countryside somewhere, and he got hit by lightning and he died.
Mm-hmm.
And
I got a good one, by the way, Arno.
I got the ring at that time, and it signifies that I can never be hit by lightning because that was statistically impossible.
And
No, I'm being funny, but it's a thing like you wear it on you as a memory. Basically. Yeah.
they call it like in Latin the memento mori,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
sign of the dead.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And actually, you asked me like a drop-down list, something
Yeah.
actionable. I was in this community, and this guy, he was being indecisive, and the way of the samurai is to leap into the jaws of death
Yes.
and come out unscathed.
Do it.
And
Yes.
I said, and it's, you can take it to a microcosm, not to put really your life at stake, go rob a bank or some dumb shit.
No, don't do that.
But
Don't rob banks.
I said to him, go out to die, then don't die and come back.
Yes.
And even this is typical young men these days. He even said, "How do I do that?" I said, "Bro, apparently you don't want to die." You
Yeah.
know? And the young Fury, for example, did not go to Poland, lose all his shit. This is the scar. I needed stitches. My blood was dripping. I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah.
I have these scars on my face that was just hitting the pavement. The biggest KO in my life I did to myself with the pavement, not a dude.
You
know?
lost to the pavement.
I lost to the pavement, and the bottle always wins.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
bottle.
Yeah, that's true.
And
yeah.
and I went to a mountain in Norway. Almost got myself killed 2 to 3 times in the same expedition.
Yeah.
And then also, I was tweeting about that yesterday. Death is the ultimate motivator.
Yes.
Death is the ultimate energy source. That if you think that I'm feeling unproductive today, just think of a close loved one. If you're of age, I think these young men haven't tasted death.
Yes.
They haven't seen it. I know you're a little bit older man.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody.
It's not
in your
real,
family.
right? You're
you even-
immortal.
And you even told me, this story. That's what it struck with me.
Yeah.
That the other day in my street, a neighbor that I've known almost 2 decades, he just passed away. He was just sitting behind his TV, and I came and then I heard from my mom, and, and I was like, oh, but that guy. I just saw him like.
Yeah.
But then he passed away, and that makes me think about death in general,
Exactly.
symbolically, philosophically, whatever, and then my own death. And then I think about this juxtaposition, old Fury, young Fury, how much time I have wasted. And that always, even if I talk about it, gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
And it's like electricity. And then I'm ready again.
You will die.
And it's just 1 second. And that's a nice mantra or effort. You can look in the mirror and you can say, you will die. Why are you so afraid of talking to that girl? Why are you so afraid of tweeting? Why are you
Yeah.
why are you so
Putting
afraid?
yourself out there. Yeah. True.
You will die. If you just say that to the mirror, that's super powerful. And then if you, I don't know, there's something wrong with you, then you should see somebody maybe if you don't feel something. Because if I'm drunk, it doesn't matter what kind of state I'm in. If I'm feeling death, if I say it, well, shit, that was a touch of death or this and that, right back in the day. That's that heuristic, like a mental spark, like electricity. Boom.
I agree. That's beautiful. And chances are about 100% that you will die one day. It's assume you will.
I like your humor, man. It's like an underplayed humor. You will die.
Yes.
If you had any notion, any consideration in your head that you were immortal, you're not. You're made of flesh and bone. Your body will die.
Yeah, it will happen. Yeah. No, I agree. And it's funny that you say that. People will then ask, like, how do I do that? Because that's sort of like pushing away the decision to actually do something.
Right?
It's not real.
Yeah, he almost wanted to, what's the word, delegate.
Exactly.
To his.
Tell me exactly. Yeah.
Then I said, bro, I just handed it to you. And like this sport, this initiative. No, I gave it an initiative, right?
Yeah.
Like, what do they say? Like, kick the birds out of the nest, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do that with my children. I don't have any children, God forbid, I don't know. But
Yeah.
I would kick them out of the nest, not per se out of my home, because that's. I have my debates about that, but more so, bro, just go do it. You know, I'm quite ruthless for that. I've known like this friend that I'm talking about, also also from the south. We went into some like altercation that with a pickpocket and something like that, and I was completely ruthless with him, but I was there for him physically he needed some money and this and that. I'm
Yeah.
up for. He's my friend. I'm supposed to help him.
Yeah.
But I was ruthless with anything emotional. He was like, bro, you're a loser. You got, it happened to you.
Yeah.
I'm savage like that because those kind of things happened with me as well. Or, bro, why are you crying for help? Nobody's gonna help you.
Yeah.
I'm here for you for this and that, but you're just whining now. And he's like, yeah, okay. And then if you're a man, if you have balls, you actually dip for like 3 to 5 days, and then it depends on what kind of guy you are. You kind of pretend that it didn't happen, which is also fine. Then a new narrative, you control the new narrative.
Yes.
And like, I'm a man now, like.
Yeah.
Or he'll be like, yo, he'll even own up to it. Yeah, that was a little bit bitchy of me, right?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was. It was some quarterback, some American football player, and they asked him like, "What's the most important thing to have as a quarterback?"
Yeah.
Won Super Bowls, and he said, "Well, a short memory." And when he gave a wrong pass, immediately forget it, and we're on with the game. Which is, and you don't keep thinking about the bad pass or your bad action.
Winners have winner amnesia.
Oh, that's nice. Winner amnesia.
Very pragmatic, instrumental, clear and concise amnesia. Like, I just forgot about it.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of like, ooh, I shot my shots with a couple chicks. I forgot about it. Just delete.
Exactly. It's very similar. Also, the social media thing. People, I have this also with people that have to do outreach, right?
Sure.
And then they say, well, what if my message isn't good, or what if my Twitter account is shit, or what if my writing is shit? Well, no one will remember anyway. No one gives a fuck about you. Like,
No.
you'll write some dumb shit, and then people will see it, and then they will immediately forget it because it's just dumb shit. And the only way you get good at something is by being bad at first and trying it out. But no one cares about you. No one will remember you. Don't worry. Just do it.
Yeah, and also Arno, this reminds me, I think I mentioned that this week to a man, like Babe Ruth, legendary home run king.
Yeah.
If you look up his stats, he's also strikeout king.
Oh, really?
Yeah. His strikeouts are huge, humongous. But
That's awesome.
through the narrative that disappeared,
Yeah.
right? Because he's Babe Ruth, and he, even once he hit his stride, he had that notorious gimmick that he pointed to a corner and then he hit the home run there.
Yeah.
After he got good, but
Yeah.
he was not pointing his strikeouts. I bet your ass that he was not.
No.
So he got struck. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then, but once he hit one, he was like, maybe. So maybe
Yeah.
the first, maybe the first one, like the first couple 5, he did this and like, and people were like laughing. He was like, fuck,
Yeah. But people only remember when you do it, and then you actually do it, and then it's awesome. Then they'll just forget about the other stuff. It's the same with predictions. Like, there's so many people do predictions,
Right.
and they're wrong, like all the time. But people only remember when it was right.
Exactly.
That's the thing with psychic people as well.
And if an American is listening to this, they are big on gun culture, right?
Yeah.
And I think I listened to a lot of Jocko Willing's podcasts or like reels actually.
Yeah.
And he had this one notion that made me think about, you have a gun and a barrel. Once you've taken your shot, it's out of the barrel,
Yeah.
hit or miss. One, you cannot control it anymore. Let's say if it's a hit, you're still gonna have to take the next shot. So the emotion of triumph should not make you overly confident. But let's say you missed, if you have a mission to complete and you have still ammo, you still have something to give. You just have to keep next.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
special forces are notorious for not only being good at this mindset, they have killer mindset, but they're good from a philosophical POV to always take the next shots. When they're done, they usually become a successful-ish entrepreneur.
Yes.
Because they're made for failure and next shot, next shot, next shot, next
Exactly.
shot. And they're notorious also like in bars, next shot, next shot. And because
Yeah.
they're so indefeatable,
Yeah.
with that mindset. Since this is about mindset,
True.
to give anything like takeaway, it's about next shot, next shot, next shot, or play more hands.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. And then you, like, in terms of building up the socials, because you got a decent sized Twitter account, I think. How long did that take? Like, how much time did it? Because that's another thing. I keep getting questions from people, and then they say like, well, I've been at this for 4 days and things are not happening. Bro, you have a wrong perspective of time. So tell me about that. Like, how much time did it take?
So for me, it took me years, if not half a decade or something. So I just laugh to myself. It's almost, it's that classic thing, right? They think it's been given to you. When I met the Tates, they were like, there were some haters. They were like, how did he deserve that?
Yeah.
And then if they were in my face, I'll say to them, yo, Nipper, yo, Ninja, I've been at this game to put my face, my voice, my interesting facets so long. You do not understand.
Yeah.
And do you understand, Arno? No, but it's, you know, it's that curse of the young man that he wanted right now, right? I want it right now as well. I want a couple million in my bank
Yeah,
account now.
sure.
I want 5 Russian top models.
The harem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
5
sure.
Ukrainians. And,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I want it like this. Who doesn't? But
Yeah.
it's quite immature, naive, and infantile almost to
Yeah.
want something like that. And this is that metaphysical thing again. They've never been to the gym then.
Yeah.
How fast are they getting gains?
Ja, exactly.
Wil jullie helpen?
Kan ik nog 2 whisky?
Ja, zeker.
Super, dankjewel.
These guys never been to the gym, right?
Wil je nog extra ijs nodig?
Yes.
No, it must be, because like last time I checked,
Yeah.
it didn't happen in 4 days.
Yeah, they got gains in 4 days, right?
Yeah.
Never
Oh,
happened.
That'd be awesome.
You know, I have this friend, not to talk bad about him behind his back, but we were talking about his risk aversity. He's
Yes.
becoming more and more risk averse, and his energy was starting.
He's going the risk averse direction.
Yeah,
not
and,
the risk.
and we
what's
were.
what's the inverse?
I always have to Google that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do know.
He's becoming less of a risk taker.
Yeah,
Okay, that sounds gay. Go on.
and he needs energy.
Yeah.
Just lift weights. And then he was like, I don't know if he made an off-the-cuff complaint or something. He said the gains are not coming fast. And I asked him one heuristic again. Yo, bro, have you put in the work 3 times lifting per week with proper food and proper sleep for minimum 3 months consecutively?
Yeah.
And then he said, bro, we know the answer.
Yeah, we already.
You know, and it was
Yeah.
quiet, like a whimper, not to insult him, but this is that, to tie back what men need, like accountability, like brotherhoods.
Yeah.
We were talking about this off screen as well, brotherhoods, the right ones. I don't put him down, like, oh, you're so weak. And
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
he
no.
doesn't need that, but it's like,
Yeah.
did you do the 3 months that we talked about 3 months ago? No.
Yeah.
And then, as a metaphor, I like to think this way, these kind of things. This guy, 4 days on Twitter is not working. But did you make a thread every day for 3 months straight? The answer is probably no.
Yeah.
Did somebody like one of your tweets on your threads? No. Did you reach out to other thread makers to try to boost each other, or
something, yeah.
or did you do cold DMs, like did you do 5 cold DMs a day, or
Yeah.
did you do follow on follow? That's also an interesting strategy, or
Yeah.
I don't know, did you do something, And it's nice because of these. We were talking about, let's say you're a nobody, right?
Yeah.
You have nothing and you have to make your name known, I guess.
Yeah.
What's really fun,
Starting from zero.
yeah,
Yeah.
what's really funny is that,
Wel alsjeblieft.
thank you, sir.
Wel alsjeblieft.
Thanks.
Oh, that's nice.
Cool. Cheers. What's really funny is that Twitter has social circuits as well. You have to breach it. If you're on the outside,
True.
you have to just keep showing your face.
Yeah.
Similar with, let's say, networking. For example, this is, I think, experience plus awareness would
Yeah.
gain this. I was at the cigar lounge,
Yeah.
sitting in front. I was thinking, when are these chairs here? Because I've been out of town a long time. They don't put up the chairs outside during the winter. Then I thought to myself, well, I can just come here every now and then, smoke a cigar. I got 2 to 3 interactions. They talked to me. They were like, hey, is that a Cuban, this and that? And some people
So
give-
they hit you up basically.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so to deconstruct this, find a passion, which for me now has become notorious cigar smoker.
Yeah.
Find the locales, the spots, the locations in your vicinity and or town to go there.
Yeah.
3, find like-minded people. 4, sit there. 5, keep doing that consecutively.
Put yourself out there, right?
Keep
Yeah.
putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
6, down the line, expect some kind of reward.
Yeah.
Not fully in everything. It was not as if the girlfriend of these guys walking by just came on my cock,
No.
But
no, that usually doesn't happen.
no,
no.
But they,
Yeah.
I could see they were looking at me, and
Yeah.
I was extrapolating like chess.
Yeah.
If I do this more often, one girl will like, hey,
Yeah.
so maybe shoot a shot or drop her, so do something,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, hey, you want to smoke a cigar?
Because
with
you're
me?
an interesting guy in the right place.
Exactly, and
You're not
also
sitting at home playing video games.
and also to tie back, it's about alignment. So I'm also a book reader. So I was thinking, go to cafes where there are books. And I'd done that like in Brussels by accident. Actually, I went to a coffee shop and it was like a more student, clean,
I remember seeing
modern
that.
cafe store. But there was books at the back, and I kept going back there. And actually, lo and behold, there was a girl shooting a shot. That was so fascinating. So I picked up a book by Jean-Paul Sartre. I was actually pretending to read that. I was waiting for a friend, just camouflage.
Yeah.
But I can't read French, guys. You know?
Of
I
course,
can't.
obviously.
But
Yeah.
she shot her shot by this. She picked up a book and she said, "Hey, girlfriend, name, you know, and
Yeah.
this is the most famous writer in English literature."
Yeah.
And she got my attention. I heard that.
Yeah.
So it was an opening for me to actually say, "Oh, really?" You know? And I actually kept going back, and every time I went, she was there. And at one point, we became so colloquial.
Yeah.
It was almost, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
She was not per se my type or what I wanted at the time, but I could have just, "Hey, yo, what are you doing?"
The opening was there. If
yeah,
you wanted to take
just
it.
through
Yeah.
what they would call osmosis, actually.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
That's a beautiful way to put it.
To try to deconstruct networking and think
Yeah.
about it from a
Put yourself in the right place.
yeah.
And then be an interesting guy. And the only way to be an interesting guy is to fall on your face a lot. Like to
That's
actually fail.
that's very true. Yeah.
Yeah, and to do stuff. Like no one's gonna hit you up when you're playing World of Warcraft.
No, they're not.
If it's a chick, it's probably not a chick.
Oh, actually, Arno, I have a fun story about that.
Go.
Since we're about World of Warcraft, I was in. Do you guys know Casino Royale Vesper? I was in a bar called Vesper in Oslo.
Oh.
So I chose it for that actually.
Yeah.
And that was like a little tongue-in-cheek. I went up to the bartender. So why is this bar called Vesper? As a trick, right?
Yeah.
And like enlightened me, and he became my friend the whole night. You know. That aside, I took my Vesper martini because of course they have to serve
Obviously,
it.
yeah.
So I take that, I sit down, and there was this one weirdo who brought me in his circle. It was a whole table full of Warcraft players. I kid you not.
Really?
So
a whole
if-
clan.
A whole clan. No, he said this is our clan. It was 20 guys. So I was now an outsider. Let's say I'm a notorious cigar smoker, cocktail cool. I'm thinking I'm gonna pick up like a Vesper Lane or something.
Yeah.
No, but these guys had a frame now.
Yeah.
So if you're a gamer, try to. There's a DM function, guys, probably, right?
Yeah.
Or with your clan. Go meet up with them in real life. And they did this. I kid you not, maybe weekly or monthly. And so this is our
Really?
monthly thingy, and
wow.
and it was fascinating. I had not seen that so many times. And what was so cool, Norway is a huge country. It's big. It's quite continental, you know.
Yeah.
So if you want to travel from city to city, you have to take minimum 3 hours train, but they prefer flights. That's how big it is.
Wow.
So I was in Oslo capital, but one guy came from, it's called Stavanger. It's near the southwest.
Stavanger, I know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was one of the lesser known, it has nice mountainside, this and that.
Yeah.
But he flew all the way for a night out in Oslo
Wow.
for the clan meet. And this is dedication for networking.
You make it real.
He was basically paying a flight for 50 to 100 bucks,
Yeah.
depending on when he booked it. Maybe if
Yeah.
it's last minute, it's 200 bucks. There are cocktails in Norway, expensive as fuck, 300 bucks. He's getting smashed as fuck. Maybe he's spending 400 bucks. Maybe he has to have an hotel if he doesn't pipeline a nice chick to sleep at. You know,
Yeah.
what is he doing it for? Well, at least he know he's a clan member, right?
He is someone.
He
Yeah,
is
correct.
someone,
Yeah.
not just in your. You know, I have nothing against guys in mom's basement. Maybe you have a tough financial, whatever.
Yeah.
At least,
I do, by the way. Find your balls and move out. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
No, but you make it real. I think that's the most. And even like the guy has money to spend to go to the clan meeting.
Yeah, of course. So
But-
he chose for a 9 to 5. So
Yeah.
he's sitting at home, he had a 9 to 5, pull the money, go to Oslo.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't live in Oslo, so he has to make the choice. So maybe then the next step would be he's gonna think, I really love these clan members, and with them I can try to score chicks because Oslo is a tight status social circle.
Yeah.
It's a hard game.
Yeah.
So maybe he's thinking, ooh, this guy is a good wingman, this and that. I'm gonna move to Oslo. Maybe that's his next thinking step.
Yeah.
Rent money's high. Maybe he's gonna work harder. Maybe start a side hustle.
Yeah.
Then through what would Brute the Force say? In transcendence through intensity. You're putting yourself out there. You're making it real. You're doing, and this through metaphysicalities of life will give you energy and impetus and thoughts
Yes.
that you would not have gotten sitting inside.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. That's transcendence through intensity.
Yeah.
That's very well put.
And what's interesting about him? He's a verbose person, but he lives it.
Yes.
He is that. So if you would not have this vocabulary to deconstruct it or label it like that, you think, wait, why is this force cooler than me?
Yes.
But you think, wait, he's out there. Where is he? And then you hear he's from a West California, this and that. Then you hear his things that he does, and then you think, why am I not doing that? For example, he's notorious. What does he say? I love that about him. That there's this archetypal alignment with him. That he puts himself out there. He just goes to Michelin star restaurants and orders sparkling waters. You know, if you're broke as fuck, he just said 20 sparkling waters. And just so he's this huge Aryan. Nah, he's not Aryan, but he's Caucasian.
Yeah.
He just sits there and somebody's thinking, who's this? You know,
Yeah, yeah.
who is that guy?
Yeah.
Right? And well, he should at least he's showing his face. You know,
Yeah, he's
and
showing up.
And he's notorious for he had a spaces that he met a MILF who was providing for him. Yeah, he's a legend. But Arno, where did he meet her? At the Whole Foods. So I was saying to our notorious friend Benjamin, the cigarette
Yeah.
flipper, yo, bro, if you want a MILF, go to our Dutch version
Yeah,
of
the
Whole
organic store.
Just go
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
They are there, and we were hunting for bracelets.
Yeah.
There were all these like nice esoteric astrology chicks there. You know.
Yeah.
We were hunting for bracelets, but we were actually just there. You know. Hey,
Yeah.
tell me more about Virgo, Amethyst, Ascendant, right? And I kid you not, because Benjamin, he has swagger, handsome. Yeah, goes
I have
for.
to meet him. He's a great guy. I think. I mean, we'll get along.
I'll text him. He'll come. He'll pop up.
He's a very how do you say it? Striking individual.
He is.
Yeah.
Because to put it again, like he works a strong 9 to 5, but he puts himself out there. Actually, he puts himself out there.
Were you always like extroverted? Was that a thing for you?
So like the 20-year-old Fury, I'm more introverted.
Yeah, same for me. Brother.
And great book, Susan Cain, Quiet. She has 2 to 3 chapters that dictates what it means, the classic introvert extroversion dilemma and paradox.
Yeah.
She says that as an introvert, actually your amygdala, it's the part that regulates fear, energy, everything basically.
Yeah.
It's just different. That as an introvert, your battery just drains with social contact.
True.
But as an extrovert, your
charges.
It charges.
Yes.
And it's hard to rewire your chemical, genetic gift by God or how you were.
Yeah.
So you cannot refute that. So I'm still quite introverted. So for example, this morning I was just by myself for 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
But then if I'm in the media, suddenly you see, oh, he's so introverted, he's so funny. But now, no, I know you,
Yeah.
and I pick my battles. I'm not gonna speak with 5 random guys in suits. No.
No, same here,
No,
man.
I'm just like
Yeah.
sitting there and thinking.
Yeah.
And then there was a rich old guy. He made a comment about my cigar. Then I can bounce.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's more.
Well, there's an opening, and
Yeah.
you can actually get energy from the
Yeah.
conversation.
That's
Opening
more.
up.
I would say that's more learned behavior. I
Yes.
taped it over my
Same here, yeah.
chemical alignment. So I'm
Yeah.
just sitting there, just brooding, or just, I was notorious for at this wine bar. I was journaling, smoking cigar, and a guy opened me. He said, "Are you a writer? Because I see you journaling."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and we chatted, and I apparently left a mark because a couple months later he found me on Twitter. That was the craziest story I've heard. I say, "Yo, I was in your city. Remember me at the wine bar?" I said, "Of course I know. You had a beautiful girlfriend. I always see you had so much fun.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. Maybe I'm gonna meet him." But it's being out there again, putting it, making it real.
Yeah.
But also just keeping. I think to put it like this, play to your energy, like your style. You know of yourself if you get tired just by being in the club. Like yeah. And again, that's so. If people would ask me why I became so good at drinking,
Yeah.
because I know I'm a machine.
Yes.
And I'm good at technical stuff. So I knew that Dutchmen are notorious drinkers.
Yeah.
Well, then I think, wow, I'll try to beat you,
Yeah.
So I'm like, that is me. That I became that because I know my body, my immune system can handle that.
Yeah.
But I was not per se as as smooth as the Dutch,
Yeah.
their pattern. And then some people were like, why are you just standing in the middle of the dance floor like this? Then I also became a notorious partier, and my favorite music style for energy is EDM because it's like when where's the drop, like,
Yeah.
And when something is not banging in the club like turn up music, I'm like, this is boring,
Yeah. Exactly.
Why I'm at the club? Where are the bangers?
Yeah.
Or where's the busy for like Dutch people, like the
Yeah.
Where's the slut drops?
Yeah.
I'm waiting. Where the thought? That is about picking your battles. And then like if I get a little bit tired, I'll just sit at the table and be like, oh, Fury's drunk again, or whatever. I'll be drunk, whatever. And like
No,
it's just pick your battles.
I like that a lot. Like I'm the same way. I'm not the guy that opens up. Goes to the party alone, opens up everyone. That's not me.
You gonna smoke more?
Yeah, we can do it. And but what I do mean,
Smoke the placentia together.
sure.
Yeah. I always like, because the occasions doesn't happen that often,
Yeah.
to smoke the same cigar with a bro.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain why I want that. It sounds super cock actually. It's almost like sharing a woman actually. I had to go there, but I don't, guys. I don't do that. I don't.
No.
But it's
We don't share women. So that's true. Yeah.
caveat, strong caveat.
Up until now. Hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Is it strong?
No, it's just spicy.
Spicy.
Like, I know like in some cultures they are not good with spicy food. Well, actually, so if you guys want to train your resilience, eat more spicy food, because spicy food triggers capsicum, which triggers the nociceptors, which is pain receptors in your brain. So you're basically hitting yourself in the brain. So eat
In
more
the face.
spicy.
Yeah, and the brain phase. Yeah.
No, I like that about you, because you've come in alignment with you, who you are as a man. You wear the ring and this and that.
Yeah.
And then it would be out of alignment. What I see, still respect. Sometimes I go to the club,
Yeah.
and I love it when I'm not the weirdo. I see an old man. We're talking disco club, and
yeah.
they're going hardcore,
Yeah.
but they're actually misplaced.
Yeah, that's always a little bit weird,
It's
right?
sad.
I remember this dude. He was always at the club. He was always wearing a suit, like suit, tie,
You know-
3-piece.
Okay, that he's allowed to do that now. Okay, he
Yeah,
knows how
sure.
to dress, this and that. But yo, bro, if you're of this age, why haven't you built a body of work? Where's
Yeah.
your family, or multiple lovers, a harem, or just
You
get a
shouldn't
night?
be here just alone in your 3-piece suit. That's a bit odd.
And I start to come more to grips with myself because I'm getting older and older. So this is again tying back to self-awareness. Just know yourself, guys. Know thyself. It's also read As a Man Thinketh.
Yeah.
Classic.
Man thinketh within his heart, so is he. What's the author again?
Yeah, a famous name. Alan?
It's a simple name. Well,
Great
as
book.
As a Man thinketh.
It's basically one big rant, actually. Very metaphysical. Because if you think poison, your mind becomes poison, and you poison your body, kind of.
Yeah. It's like what we talked about before, the brainwashing stuff.
Yeah.
You determine what you wash it with. Yeah.
That's good. Oh, I love that. Brainwash.
Yeah. I went to a seminar once, and then the speaker said, people always accuse me of brainwashing people, and actually that's very accurate, because a lot of your brains need a good washing, and I thought that was beautiful. It was very well put. Like, your brain needs to get washed because there's so much shit in it and retarded stuff. You should.
It reminds me of that talk we were having, that if you're gonna have girlfriends or this and that, somebody's brainwashing you. If you're gonna have brothers, if he's the younger brother,
Yeah.
or you've come of age, like my friends I found, I by accident slipped into the mentor role. I never wanted that. I just outlived everybody, kinda.
Yeah.
And then my friends, they're a little bit younger, and well, apparently I like to think in archetypes.
Yeah.
And if they are a king, like King Arthur, then well, life.
Talk about the archetypes, because I don't know anything about that.
It's in these old heroic tales that if it's such a strong story, it will live on through the ages.
Yeah.
So
I survive the
I
test
wa-
of time.
I once did a thought process that so you had the cave. That's actually the first and only story, actually.
The cave allegory by Plato. You mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, but actually from a metaphysical storytelling POV, that you have the cave, you have people inside the cave, can whisper and how do you call it? Gossip and predict and think what is outside the cave. But they were afraid, the sheep, the NPCs, tying back to the Plato thing, the shadows and this and that.
Yeah.
But they never know what's outside of the cave.
Yeah.
Then there was the first brave young caveman. He went outside of the cave. He had no name other than, you would already have to give a name, such as a vagabond. That's more samurai or something like that.
Yeah.
He went outside the cave. That's another story. Story number 2. So they're talking, what is caveman with his spirit? What is he doing? They are afraid. They're staying in the cave.
Yeah.
And then the third and final story, the climax, the hero's journey, the last part. He comes home with his spear, unscathed perhaps, or maybe wounded.
Yeah.
He tells the story. He says, "Guys, there are saber-tooth tigers out there, and there are other caves. They also don't know what's happening."
Exactly.
And that's if not the only stories that exist in any fiction book, if you want some kind of mental model to think about life. There's that. And then I was thinking that this caveman, this brave soul, is tied to the marauders, the harpooneers, in medieval stories like Geoffrey Chaucer in the Canterbury Tales.
Yeah.
You have the knight errant.
Yeah.
Errant with double R and a T at the end. It's the knight page that has to do the dirty jobs, and he's tied to the Grill quest, the Arthurian Grill quest Knight Templars.
Yeah.
That's another archetype. Then you have the cowboy. Then you have the noir PI detective. Yeah, that's it basically.
So these are things that
These
are
are
created through story?
These are things that Carl Gustav Jung would label, it's seated in the pool of collective unconsciousness.
I see. Where you tap out, where everyone sort of taps into.
Yeah, and then these are there. So what I know from you now, you're more like the gentleman archetype.
Yeah.
The first time I saw you. What you give towards me that I can, with the partial info that I have,
Yeah.
the narrative. So I'm thinking, okay, Arno wants to fit into the gentleman archetype. Me, I'm notorious now for the samurai vagabond Ronin archetype. I don't know if I wanted that, but I was doing it.
Yeah.
And then it's nice to clear the mechanism a little bit to think about it. And then you have these big works of Homer.
Yeah.
You have the Iliad and the Odyssey. The Odyssey is one big voyage. For
Yeah,
example, if
true.
you're starting, I love this one because a lot of men, they go into wrong directions. I love to think in terms of women, that you have the sirens.
Yes.
So you have the voyage.
Yeah.
Odysseus is a king. He has to go to his kingdom, but you have these toddies, these promiscuous women, like,
Yeah.
beautiful. They're beautiful, and I'm here, legs right open.
Siren song. Yeah.
And there are women in our day and life thinking archetypically. Ooh, that's a siren.
So it's not
You
like
know?
it's not a conscious thing. It's a subconscious.
Yes, it's very deeply rooted in ourselves.
If you haven't read the Iliad, by the way, you should. It's one of the great works of fiction of humanity, I think. So read it. I read it to my kids, so they knew, or they still know. I hope. But it's a beautiful story. It's even like he comes within like sight reach of Ithaca, his home island, and then his staff fucks up, and someone opens a bag of wind, and he gets blown all the way back.
Yep.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
That's what staff does for you. So I hate staff. But Séverine, if you see this, I don't hate you, but you know I hate staff in general. You're okay. You're alright. So, she's my sister.
Is she Turkish?
No, Séverine. I don't know. It's
Wait.
yeah.
That's. I've heard that name. It's also in the story actually.
I think so, right?
I'll try to. I can't come up with it right now,
Yeah.
but she's also an archetype than Severine. I'll come up with it later. But
Okay. Let me know.
tying it
I'll
back-
let her know. She'll love it.
tying it back, and also then you have the Arthurian archetypes, closing the open loop. I found that you have these young master race prodigy kind of kids. Like
Yes.
this young friend, he's 20 something.
The Übermensch.
Yeah, but he's so, you know, and this is why I like these stories. The story of King Arthur was that he was ostracized. Camelot belongs to him.
Yes.
It's his birthright, but they made him think he was just a slave. They cast him out. He was raised, if you follow that new movie by Guy Ritchie and Charlie Hunnam, in a brothel and this and that, and he's just a thug.
Pure obscurity.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
actually Excalibur's waiting for him.
Yes.
And then to play myself into this role, I have to play the Merlin conciliary advisor role and say, bro, you're actually Arthur. Excalibur's waiting for you.
waiting for you.
It's
You
waiting
just
for
have
you.
to take
You
it.
just have to take Excalibur,
Yeah.
take it out of the stone, and then
Yeah.
claim your birthright. I have these nice longer format pieces on Twitter or on my mail list and this and that, but I think about this because some young men need. I once was thinking about this. Men, I think maybe women as well, but they need it different. We need storytelling.
Yes.
And this is why it's necessary. So to say to a young man that maybe nobody believed in him, you say,
Yeah.
well, I think you're actually King Arthur, but they just gave you a bullshit propaganda,
Yeah.
some Goebbels-esque nonsense,
Yes.
brainwashing.
Brainwashed you into
thinking,
mediocrity
yeah.
and being lame.
But if you just
Yeah.
say, whoa, bro, you're handsome as fuck, you're jacked to the teeth, you're this
Yeah.
smart, oh, just get your diploma, make some business. go out.
Excalibur is waiting, yeah. It's like in the Glenn Ross movie, where he does the sales meeting and he says that they're sitting out there waiting to give you their money. Are you gonna take it? And then that's Excalibur as well. Like you have to step into it. Like no
Right.
one is going to drive by and drop off Excalibur like Uber Eats. That's not gonna happen. You know? I'm sorry.
Uber Excalibur.
Yeah, Uber swords. No, it's not gonna happen.
That'd be a new dope sauce, by the way. Trademark, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Don't steal that. Don't steal
Uber
it.
swords.
Sorry, we already trademarked it. Don't steal
Yeah,
it.
yeah, this is our idea.
Don't steal it.
No, but I love that.
You know, and this is why reading and writing has a place, not the definitive place, but you have to mix it with the rest. For example, I was already thinking Excalibur, who actually put the sword there or who gifted it, is
Yeah.
this woman called Lady in the Lake.
Yeah.
So if you know that, you'll know that if you're a king, you're not meant for these other women.
Yeah.
You're supposed to wait or find your lady in the lake who will hand you your sword of destiny
Yes.
that makes you king. It's not that she forged it or she found it or somewhere. I'm not precise on that narrative, but so she's meant to give you the sword.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of women who are your lady in the lake giving you Excalibur to play in this metaphor, in this narrative.
True.
And that's why these stories are so powerful. And to tie back to the Odyssey, sirens are there to distract you from your voyage, but there's only one Queen Penelope waiting for you at home.
Exactly.
Being loyal,
Yeah.
according to that,
keeping off all the suitors.
keeping off all the suitors, not cheating,
Yeah.
waiting for you. And Telemachus, his son, was waiting as well.
Yeah.
And it's so warming, and
It's probably one of the best endings of a book ever, right? When they close up the diner in the dining space. That's awesome. If you haven't read it, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it is awesome. It's worth the wait.
Actually, big spoiler. Most people don't know the latter part, like when the prodigal sons come home.
Yeah.
Or well, in this case, the prodigal king. The last part is like giving back. Most people don't talk about this, but it's once you've done these heroes' journey, you have to give back to the people. So what does Odysseus do? He has a ship. One of the oars of the ship, he forges it into like a totem or something.
Yeah.
And he takes that and he goes into the forest to bring it to the native people of Ithaca.
Oh wow.
And that actually that's the last. I don't know if that's in the main version or canon or whatever, but a lot of people don't talk about that one. And it's as an older, slightly more mature gent, it's about giving back.
True.
And that's why I do it when somebody.
Otherwise, why do it at all?
Why do it at all?
There's no fun in it. Like you can make the money and you can get the spoils. That's great, but then it's empty if you don't do anything with it.
That's legacy.
Yeah.
That's very important. I think we didn't talk about that, like talking about legacy. I think Young Fury was either disillusioned, confused, or there was no crystallization of vision.
Yeah. And is that just time alone, or how does that form?
I think it's just through trial and error. Still to this day, sometimes you make it up as you go, day by day. But for example, I think I'm now notorious for talking about like women amongst my friends. That my dating strategy has changed a little bit. I filter them out actually. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, yo, so what do you think about kids? Oh, notorious one, not to talk bad behind him. I had a date and it was more like a one night stand, and we had like pillow talk, my enemy.
Yeah.
And that's all. But I just tried to test her. But I already knew she was a certain type.
Yeah.
You can tell from how sexually competent she is actually. To put it euphemistically.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, and I just asked her, what do you think about kids? And she gave the wrongest answer I'd ever heard. She went into a full minute 5 rant how she hates kids.
Oh my god.
And I didn't go along to pretend that I hate him as well, but I just played what I call like the cathartic therapist priest. Do tell me more. Oh yeah, go on. Oh yeah, it makes sense. But then I knew that those kind of women are not really for me. It's not. That's why I equate myself more to Odysseus and not, for example, Achilles, because Achilles was the warrior, king, god, whatever.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of young men, they're more Achilles, I think, or there are a lot of Agamemnon or this and that, and I'm more like Odysseus on this voyage.
We have like an epidemic of Parises. That's the that's the whole problem. All the simps. He was the OG simp.
Completely ruining modern civilization as we know it.
Exactly.
Stop simping.
For a hot chick.
You simps are destroying society as we know it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Every
what
time you simp. Yeah.
Know that.
Remember. Yeah.
That's a good one. I haven't heard it. That would be a banger tweet, like with one of a couple aesthetic like photos or one of those memes. Or like, that will go viral if you word it right,
Yeah.
Yo, you
You
guys
have to craft it, but the seed is there. That's true.
It's so too many fucking parasites. And she cheats, and it's not that she, I don't know. No, she cheats on Agamemnon for Paris, but
Yeah.
who knows if there's that legend, right? If she cheats once,
100%.
Right? If-
Yeah.
if you take a
People
woman
don't
like-
change. No. In that area, no. I agree. 100%. Yeah. That's unforgivable. It's haram.
it's very haram.
Obvious. At the rocks.
Helen of Troy was the first haram.
Yes, exactly.
I forgot what happened to her actually in the war, actually.
Yeah, me as well.
But maybe that's the lesson.
I think Paris gets his ass whooped. But did it by the brother of Agamemnon or the Agamemnon himself?
Would make sense as a like revenge.
Yeah.
But there's a lesson there that
Yeah.
we've actually forgotten about Helen of Troy.
Yeah.
That she's evil.
Yeah. true.
She's tied to the serpent.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Maybe that was maybe Adam was the first sin. You know, yeah, I'll take the apple. Okay. Pussy.
There's so much there. JBP Jordan Peterson talks a lot about that in his.
Yeah, he has a whole book about it, right?
yeah, the
And
12
didn't read
rules
it.
talk about those guys.
Yeah, but
and
he also had the maps of meaning thing.
oh yeah, and the genealogy goes
Yeah.
really deep into that.
Yeah.
He's really into that, tying the biblical canon to the Western canon and the narrative.
How do you feel about philosophers?
It has its place. So I know a friend, like my Danish friend. Shout out if he's not interested. He knows all the philosophers. He's more well read than me, and
Yeah.
he can piece everything together.
Yeah.
He's a young man and a very successful young man. But he's also a notorious partier. So let's say I would label him as like a modern day philosopher. But you have to have it both ways, you know? In my honest opinion. It's that versatility that
Yeah.
I'm profilating the Vitruvian man, the Renaissance
True.
man, the rebirth, you know, of men.
Yeah.
And that for him, so he also knows about the States, and he said he cannot only go to, you know, to show that life, you know? It's a certain way of life. And
Yeah.
I think philosophy and philosophers bring that into perspective a little bit. For some archetypes, some personalities, to keep it a little bit more colloquial, like for some personalities. You know?
Why are they so miserable in general? Because
Maybe they didn't score.
look at Slavoj Žižek.
Yeah. Who's that? Sorry.
Slavoj Žižek.
Yeah.
He's a pretty famous philosopher, still alive. I mean, every time the guy is on camera,
He looks miserable as.
he's all nervous and has his tics and most philosophers have this absolutely miserable, shitty lifestyle, and then they die early.
I think it reminds me of people love to shit on Friedrich Nietzsche. I love his works, for example. Very dense, very complex. Has some interesting notions. He
Yeah.
was the first misogynist. Bless him. Just
Shout out to Friedrich.
if you read Beyond Good and Evil, he has one whole chapter that goes on 100
Yeah, that's a wild
pages
book.
about women men
Yeah.
maxims that people would call hardcore.
Yeah, misogynist.
Misogynist.
Yeah.
No, but he was miserable because he was not doing well in his love life and successfully monetarily. So
Yeah.
I would say you have
That
to,
was the original incel.
yes, you have to
Yeah.
come to grips a little bit what you're philosophizing and what is the place and space of it in society. So actually I would, yeah, it's maybe too far-fetched, but like somebody like Brute de Force, I heard some like maybe positive or negative stuff about him, but he has XYZ philosophy.
Yeah.
But he brings himself, his own body as a vessel, as a piece on the chessboard into the sacrifice of the battle, this metaphysical combat that we're waging. And that's, I think, maybe some people like about me. So they talk about modern day Bushido, this and that. And I almost feel it's like heresy or haram to say that I'm like samurai, this and that, because, well, I've never touched a sword, you know, like killed a person, this and
Yeah.
that. But if you have certain philosophies, I think I heard it somewhere, but it's I talk about it a lot, is that the only things that you truly believe is that you act upon. And I think
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's very well put. The only things that you truly believe is what you act upon. So you look at what people do, not what they say.
that's a classic
Yeah.
Red Pill adage, by the way,
Yeah.
with a woman. So
Really?
she,
Yeah? Oh.
So she says she loves you. If she loves you, does she act accordingly,
Yes.
or is it just words?
Yeah. True.
And if a woman truly loves you, it's like a proper mother. Some guys have not maybe like an optimal mother, but she'll be there for you. She'll
Yeah.
cook, clean. You don't even have to ask. She'll give you meals. She'll wash your clothes. She'll rub your back, and she'll ask like, "Where's this new?" It's that detail.
Yes.
It's in this insane perception of detail that you can see how much they care. You have a new nick of a scar. You place your ring on a different finger. I was talking to a girl, send her photos. She said, "Where are your rings?" I said, "Well, I just put it on the other fingers.
Yeah.
She's not lying. She really is so into me that she's like, oh, what's happened with this? She, you know,
Exactly.
it's what she's doing, and to bring it home just to philosophy, to close that open loop, is that if you're philosophizing, is it just a narrative? Or are you trying to come up with a new gospel, new religion, a new Quran?
Trying to look smart.
Trying to look
maybe.
smart. You know, is it just optics? Is it a
Ja.
pretty fast, man?
Mag ik er nog 2?
Nog 2?
Super.
Nee. Of toch gewoon.
Ja, dat hadden we gewoon toch? Ja, gewoon.
Sure.
Super. Dank u.
Thanks so much, Chris. It's, you know, in that sense, that's why. So what's his name? Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah.
Got shit on in certain spheres. Let's not forget, he was an emperor of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
That's what I love about him. The Meditations, his only book, was his personal journal.
Yeah.
It was not meant to be published. He did not want to be called the philosopher king.
No.
He just used the things that his teacher Rufus Antonius
Yeah.
gave him with the Stoic philosophy from Epictetus and Seneca before him. He was reading that to govern the Roman Empire, to keep sane.
Yeah,
And then he
like a
did-
framework for decisions.
Yes,
Yeah.
like an operating system,
Yeah.
a modus operandi,
Yeah.
MO, and that's, I feel, a modern day philosophist would be. You know, that's why I have a hard time labeling myself again as a philosophist or something.
Yeah.
But if I have any codes of conduct, so I'm acting according to it. You know, if I had a friend the other day, he came all the way from Texas to Rotterdam.
Oh, wow.
It's a long way from home. You know, and I'm of the notion or code of conduct, if somebody shows so much leniency, willingness to go
Yeah,
so
so
far,
much effort.
and
Yeah.
then I made my best effort to show him these spots of Rotterdam that I would go.
Obviously,
I know
yeah.
the coffee shop there, the Greek store. The guy
Yeah.
knew me. Give him more warmth and this and that. All
Yeah.
the girls were looking at him. Went to this bar that I used to go to, this and that. Brought him to Amsterdam. It was his first time to Amsterdam. I brought him on my personal Amsterdam route where I used to go to this and that. He loved it. He said, even mid-journey, his mid-odyssey, he was like, "Yo, Fury, I saw this photo. This is one of my favorite photos of you because of the street." I said, "Well, go to that street. It's Amsterdam. It's right there." He said, "Yes."
Cool.
He
Yeah.
really liked that, and he needed that as an excuse for, you know, for me to come and to join the Hua clan and this and that. And
Yeah.
you have to bring, it's like quid pro quo. It's like alchemy, equivalent exchange, you know. So,
I agree. That's an interesting way to put it, alchemy. And networking is the same way, right?
Exactly.
I had so many times that that you're trying to meet someone, and then they're usually more important than you, or
Sure.
they're more famous or
Yeah,
whatever.
sure.
And then you put in more effort because it doesn't, you know, it wouldn't behoove you to expect for them to meet you halfway. Like you have to go to them because like you want something. Usually,
of course,
right?
and they know that
Yeah.
if they're of status.
Yeah, we're not dumb. This is a good cigar.
It's good, right? This is my favorite of the placenta.
La Ciencia. I'm not a fool.
So we could talk about it actually, like, you know, because they know we both meditate, you know,
Yeah.
and so now they're famous on the internet. Even Jake Paul knows Andrew, right?
Yeah.
No, but
Maybe he'll fight him. We'll see.
yeah, I love to see
It'll
that.
be fun.
So a young man who sees that, he would ask them, "Your Fury, how can I meet somebody of stature of Tate's?"
Yeah.
And then it's always a little bit touch and go. I think I'm like that. I think I learned that from my father. That you have your own dignity, kind of like space. Like for example, what most people don't know, on the Saturday was a typical Tate night. We went to the club kind of beat.
Yeah.
But then the other days, I was by myself.
Yeah.
Because I know that he's a man that has to do his thing.
Of course.
And then, however, he had some spare time. Tristan, because Andrew was busy with the Bugatti back then.
Yeah.
What color is your Bugatti? The orange one. Did not get to see it.
Oh, okay. I never saw it as well in person.
You never saw it?
No. Maybe it's not real.
Maybe it's just a hologram this year,
Okay.
right?
Alsjeblieft.
Thanks so much, miss.
Yeah, it's all fake. Probably.
No, I saw all the cars. Guys, I saw all the cars. You could call it fake, but I saw it.
Yeah, me as well. Like I saw when we were in Romania,
Yeah.
the Rolls, the Lambo, Ferrari, Porsche.
Did he have the Lada already?
Yeah, but he didn't bring it because you know it'll probably break down halfway.
Breakdown happened. I think that's why Tristan will never change his old ways, because I think that car is symbolic of him. He doesn't know that. I haven't said it to him. Well,
Yeah.
I like to muse about these things.
Yeah.
That car is him actually. No, actually, if you put his favorite, let's say his Rolls, I don't know which his favorite car is. Let's say the Rolls is his favorite car.
Yeah.
And you put the Lada side by side. Those two cars together are Tristan Tate.
Oh, that's beautiful.
as
Actually.
a symbol.
I think that's correct.
You know?
I think that's beautiful.
Shout
I
out.
think
to
he would agree with that. Actually. Yeah. I'll ask him when I see him.
Is that favorite? Is his favorite aphorism, right? He's not a rich man. He's just a poor man with a lot of
A lot
money.
of money. Yeah. Beautiful.
It's good. And to talk about authenticity and bringing something to the table,
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit like that as well. How my father raised me and stuff like that. My father was never somebody who gave the commands or the dictations, but there were some things that you just understood through osmosis and so many times or something. And then
No, but you probably looked at what he did.
yeah, but and more so to be yourself, I think.
Yes.
You know, and then to tie it back, you know, I did my own thing. That's why it's notorious that in Romania I not only have Tristan as a friend, but all kinds of other guys. I get
Yeah.
invited to Timisoara, Vlasov, if a Clui, you know, whatever, what's it, Mamaya, you
Yeah.
know. If a girl like she chats me up and I know so much about Romania, I said they'd be like, how do you know that? I'm like, I have Romanian friends.
Yeah.
You know, and so I was talking to this Romanian girl, like I met her on Bumble or something a couple months back, and she was doing the guessing game, you know, where I'm from or something. I was rolling out, I didn't even have to Google it. I was like, look, she was like, this. And then I said, I know it, you're from Galati. And then she said, how did you know that? And I said, you look like a girl from Galati. And then she was like, you know,
Yeah, who is this guy?
Like, how does he know that?
Yes, exactly.
And this is my superpower then, because I have Romanian friends
Yeah.
who are from Galati. They tell me stories from there. I remember it. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't go there. And I just look at this girl and I think, well, you look
Seems
like
like
it.
it.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
And then she was like, you know, typically like, Romanian.
Yeah.
It didn't end well for us, but you know,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
to deconstruct that, you have to bring something to the table, you know?
That's a thing that you say a lot, by the way, to deconstruct it, and people are really bad at it in general.
I think because it's tied to self-awareness.
Yes.
I want to use the word like awareness a lot. You have to be aware. But
Yeah.
if I say be aware, it's almost as if I'm saying to them, you know, when somebody, it's a Dutch saying, I think, to see water burn.
Yeah.
It's a Dutch
Exactly,
saying.
yeah.
It's untranslatable.
Yeah.
But they don't understand it. or
No,
something.
there's nothing tangible in that.
So
How-
if I say be more aware, they'll be like, how?
Yeah.
But the word deconstruct means to dismantle.
Yeah.
So if this
It's
is where my
component pieces,
yes,
yeah.
this is where I'm truly engineer. If I look at a building, I can dismantle it all the way to the foundation. This
Yes.
is what we were taught. Well, this whole journey
Obviously.
that I went through, but I always had that. And for example, for people that don't know, Tristan has that Sherlockian intelligence as well. So we were driving, and then like an anecdote, and he hears like squad cars. Like, oh, what's happening? Oh, ambulance. 5 ambulance. Why is that happening? What's the time? And he just does this like Sherlockian rant,
Yeah.
but he's just so he doesn't want to do it, but he just does it. You know.
His brain just keeps
You know,
going, right?
or like,
Yeah.
bro, I don't know if I can stay another night because the Ransom Blue is closed. Ransom Blue is closed. They also have what's that thing like meet exhibitions, you know?
Yeah.
Where people from all over the world have business meetings, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, they conference. They must have a conference, this, that. Bro, I have another hotel for you. It's right there. You know, it goes fast.
Exactly.
And some people have that more than others. Some people would call it autist, ADD, whatever. But for somebody as a younger guy that does not get that, it's about taking it step by step.
Yes.
Trying to get that.
Stripping it down to its component parts.
Let's say
Yeah.
I'm not the money Twitter kind of guy, but let's say you want to get to like a nice cash flow, 10K a month. How are you gonna get there?
Yeah.
Are you building a system? Are you building an asset? Are you gonna go info products? Do you have a SaaS?
Yeah.
Are you just gonna broker deals? Are you gonna go in sales? And then from there you can like
And all the information is there, right?
It
If you
is.
break it down, and it's been done before. Like you're not looking
you don't
up
have to
like,
reinvent the wheel.
How
yeah.
can I do 100 trillion a month? Well, that's going to be an issue. It's going to be hard. But 10K, that's very doable. It's not like it's like a magic thing. It's not like turning lead into gold.
And then there are a lot of we hope to inspire like lots of young artistic people. Web design, hot shit.
Yeah.
Close somebody first for a testimonial, free or for free. If not, try to famous them with sales calls for $500 for
Yeah, whatever.
You know,
Small project.
small project. One project, just one client. How did you do that? Keep repeating that. You got 5 clients, $500.
Exactly.
Maybe you get better or you become more confident.
Yeah.
Just charge 1K. You can be up there. 5
Yep.
clients, 5K already. churn and burn, retainership, on and on. You know, I'm not good at web design, for example. This is that awareness.
Yeah.
If I want somebody to make a web design, we were talking about it. We were talking about video editing.
Editing, yeah.
For my cigar channel, you know, this is more than my forte. I know a guy, and Arno was like talking about this guy. I'm like, oh, maybe the guy wants a gig. I don't know. I'll ask him. Yeah, I'll afford it. And not even in sense of that I want like no, just like hey, you want some work? Hey, take this. And then
Exactly.
this guy will maybe for free make me more video or whatever. We'll see.
And you know, I'll happily give him a cut of the revenue or whatever. Like
Yeah,
it's
and then
cool.
you're already starting to exactly, and then he'll be more loyal as a retainer.
Voila.
Coming back to the samurai world, retainers.
Yeah. True.
Then he'll go above and beyond. Maybe he knows other guys who need to fill up your portfolio of skills, and then on and on.
I have a great guy helping me out with YouTube with the shorts,
Oof,
and
good shit.
he comes up with with ideas all the time, and it's awesome to work with someone that's actually invested and wants to make it better. And same for Severine, by the way. She helps
out
out.
to Severine.
Yeah. But it's nice if you have someone that is actually on your side, not just on your payroll, but also on your side. That's way better.
Yeah, because well, I think it's an old adage. If they're a mercenary, they
True.
can be bought.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
You always see this in
Yeah.
these like an Odyssey or an Iliad.
Yeah.
The mercenary army just go to the.
Yeah.
I think it's even
Judas, what did they get? 10 silver shekels or something? I don't
Shit.
know. But yeah,
Was he Jewish?
probably. Yeah, the Jews did it.
And legend goes. Let's not forget, since this kind of video,
I think the Jews killed him though. That's true.
the people who put the spear into Jesus were not the Romans. It happened near there,
Yeah.
but it was not
Yeah.
the Romans.
I wasn't there, but I heard the same thing. Yeah.
If you go down the rabbit hole,
I'm not that old. Did you get? Wait, let's cut it off there because I want to ask you some questions. But let me do the ending. So hope you enjoyed. We'll be uploading this soon to Rumble, and maybe we'll do this again sometime. It's awesome. Very nice. Thanks, man, for
thank
being
you so
here.
much.